want to hear from the women's side of this thing, because I think that women really have this mad romanticized idea of criminals, especially in our community, bro.
Oh, young women.
Especially.
Correction, young women, not mature women.
Right.
Young.
Yeah, because they've already been ran through, bro.
No, it's a maturity thing. So I feel like
you mature after you got ran through.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
No, Richard, no, don't
So
do that.
when we're younger, I feel like our understanding of masculinity can be quite warped. I feel like, especially this generation with social media and whatnot, what we understood as masculinity or hyper masculinity was the bad boy. It's the guy that has a short temper. It's the guy that dresses a certain way, talks a certain way, and does certain things. And I also feel like a lot of the time it could be, other things like, you didn't have a dad growing up, you didn't have father figures around you to see what masculinity really looks like. So yeah, you really are just left to kind of like your own devices to understand that. I don't think any mature woman in her right mind is idolizing or even tolerating or finding attractive that type of man. Like, I don't see any serious women with men that dress a certain way, like, the tracksuits and the trainers all the time, or I don't see respectable women with men that don't pay taxes, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I do think it's just a young-minded thing, and I think it's something that happens when by the time.
Let me ask you this then, Top Barbie. Let me ask you a question, yeah? Top Barbie, that's your new name. I never knew you by that name before, but let's go, yeah?
It's my backup account.
Backup ghost account, yeah? Whatever, cool. When these women are younger, yeah, and they are messing with Trappy Stabby the rapper, yeah, like what's going on at that stage? Because really and truly, in my opinion, you don't have to agree, but in my opinion, they're racking up their mileage and racking up a lot of baggage as well, mental and physical baggage. And yeah, you could say, cool, when we get mature and older, we're not tolerating a man that doesn't pay tax and a man that is da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, but you've already racked up mileage with all the rappers and trappers, bro.
Okay, Richez, can I say this?
So don't you see how that kind of messes up the community in a way? Because when this is happening at that younger stage in life, what are the boys at your stage in life thinking? What are they seeing and what are they perceiving as what is real? What is attractive? What do they need to assimilate to be to get the attraction of women? Because when boys go through that, when boys go through that life, let's say from the age of 11 till 30, yeah, some of them 40, they've usually done a lot of crazy things and probably they've redirected the trajectory of their life significantly. So what do you say to that?
So can you clarify what your question is? Why do you...
Okay, so what do you think like the repercussions are of these younger women who they're hyper focused on these rappers, criminal type guys, and yeah, they only realize that these are not good guys when they're older? What do you think the repercussions of that? I've basically said it, but what do you think? What did the women think about that on there?
Yeah, no, I do think you can be very traumatized. You can end up in jail. You could end up with a criminal record. You can end up with a bad reputation. The list kind of goes on. I think ultimately, no matter what level or it doesn't matter what level you get to with a guy, I think you always will kind of be left traumatized if you deal with those type of guys. So yeah, that's the repercussions, I guess, is just trauma.
Can I just answer your question, Richez? Yeah. So for example, you need to remember when you're young, you're very impressionable. Yeah, that's one thing. Take that into big consideration. When you're young, you're easily impressionable. It's easy for you to follow your friends, follow fashion, follow whatever you see on TV, online, etc. Yeah? 2, yeah? Until you actually start working and you enter the real world, a lot of the time, people see these, like you said, Stabby the rapper, T Trappy, this, that. They're the ones, wearing the flashy stuff, flashing the money, this, that. Hence why it goes back to people being impressionable, because these young girls think, oh, Trappy the rapper got money. Trappy the rapper takes flights. Trappy the rapper drive. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So to them, they're looking at it and seeing, oh, he's making money. They're not understanding that the average 9 to 5 is also making money. Why? Because he's not as flashy and he's not as out there. Hence why I said a lot of the time, young people are highly impressionable. It's until women go out in the real world, even some men, they start off on that trappy, too stabby, then they realize, this lifestyle's not for me. I need to pattern. You'll get some men that will decide to go pick up a trade. They'll decide to actually go to uni, or they'll decide, let me start up a business. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Everybody starts off somewhere. Hence why I said it's a phase until you actually enter the real world. Then you look at it and say, no, Trappy the rapper ain't for me.
Last for?
Wait.
I think it depends on the individual. And it depends on your surroundings.
Can I ask a question for the ladies?
Have as role models as well. That also plays a big part.
I also think it depends on how much you've thought about like who you are as a person and what you want for yourself, because I feel like even if you get to the age of 25, if you're not a woman that sees yourself living a certain lifestyle, then you might still mess with those type of guys. Do you know what I mean? And that could be tied to a plethora of different things. That could be like self-esteem. That could be childhood trauma that stops you from thinking that you could amount to something bigger than that.
Go on. Someone had a question for them.
Let me interject, right? So these women are smart enough, apparently, right, to go to uni, but they're not smart enough to discern that Trappy the rapper is gonna run through them. Look, I'm not even mincing or giving any concessions for these women now. No, they're dumb. Let's just call a spade now, because this is how they're wiggling out of the whole situation.
No,
they're like, I was naive. I got tricked. Yeah, because you're dumb. Right, let's just call a spade now. I know they don't like that word, but the same way, the brother, when you look at him, you're like, oh well, why was you selling rugs? He's stupid. Exactly. You're dumb. He's dumb. They're dumb. They're not making clever decisions. They're making dumb decisions that's affecting their lives and other people's lives. Mm-hmm. So it's not down to naivety. It's down to you not having enough foresight or listening to people who are giving you the right information.
That's why I said,
wait, hold on.
You're dumb.
Hold on.
I think that's synonymous. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna lie. Also,
the ladies a question.
The women that are going to uni.
Let me ask the ladies a question.
Hold on. Let them respond first. Go on.
Yeah, the ladies that are going to uni are not dating the trapper guys majority of the time.
Yes, they are.
Not the same
right. Oh, come on.
Oh my God! Don't lie.
I can't remember the last time.
Don't lie on here. Don't lie on here, bro.
Can I just interject?
Oh my days.
Wait, guys. Can I just say this? This sermon comes with wisdom. Yeah, wisdom comes with knowledge. Yeah. So I will say this. For example, you can have like an engineer. He might know how to work a boiler, but he might not know how to do plumbing. Why? Because he has knowledge within engineering, not necessarily in plumbing. So people can have knowledge in different aspects of life, whether that's emotionally, mentally, or just intellectually. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And hence why I said a lot of the time when you are younger, you're impressionable. That's why I said that. Impressionable is a key word.
Wait.
Yes, the girl might be smart enough to go to uni, but she might not be emotionally intelligent. She might not. The same way you get street smart and you get people who are book smart. Come on, the average person who's a middle class person who went to a posh school isn't gonna know how to navigate on a high street or the back roads. Let's be real. There's like intelligence comes in different forms. Let's be real.
Hold on. If you spent most of your teenage years and young 20s dating hood guys, do you really think you deserve a guy that's upstanding and actually a good person? Does that make any sense? You're not equally yoked.
Ooh.
That is. I think redemption is for everyone. The same way a guy that might have gone to prison might come out and change his life and he deserves a good woman. Why can't a woman who made mistakes in the past, who changes her life, get a good man? Isn't redemption for everyone? Isn't change for everyone?
Nobody's saying that. But
that's the problem.
Nobody's saying that. But what is your true type? History's history is telling us your true type. Now you want to change because you're looking for a
Also need
safe
to
route.
remember.
I don't believe. Listen,
Yeah.
can I just say
They
one?
want
I'm
You
sorry.
need to
I
remember
think this, yeah.
the person
Hold
you
on,
were in
Bebs, one sec,
secondary
one sec,
school.
one sec, one sec.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say this, yeah. For what I've seen out in the world, yeah. When women have a type, that is their type, bro. Yeah. So if you are a woman who you've prolifically dated criminals, bro, that is your type, fam. I don't care if you try and rebrand. Yeah, that is your type. Truly inside you, that is your type. You may get with a guy that's a square because he's safe, insurance policy, yes, but really, he's not really your natural type, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so with all this reform business and oh yeah, redemption, and now I deserve a good guy. I don't know if you're actually evenly yoked, like the brother said.
No, you know why I say that? Because the person you are when you're 10 years old is not the person you are when you're 20.
We're
The
not talking
person
about
you are.
10 years old,
No,
fam.
let me finish.
Why are
Let me
you dating
land.
at 10
Come
years
on,
old?
man.
Let me just finish.
Let her land.
Let me just finish. The same person you were in your 20s, you're not going to be that same person in your 30s. The same person you were in
Why
your
not?
30s, you're not going to be that same person in your 40s. People change in different stages in life. You can't compare the mindset you had when you were 20, 25, 29 to the mindset you have when you're 35, 40. You can't.
No, all
Because you're a
that
different
changes is not
person.
necessarily. No, all that changes is what you need. Your necessities change. So
I feel like when we're talking
before,
about
when you didn't
relationships,
need
it's
nothing,
different.
listen. When you didn't need necessarily someone to put you in a house, you wasn't looking for a guy to be the safe option to pay the mortgage. You was just looking for vibes and looks.
Yeah.
And that
there's-
guy with the vibes and looks is who you naturally, truly like. That's the guy you truly like.
There's
This
actually-
other guy that you're picking based on he's gonna pay the bills. He's a safe option. He ain't gonna cheat on me, and he's not gonna beat my ass. And I don't have to risk going jail.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You say that like it's a bad
That's
And
who
also-
you really
Why?
like.
And also,
why does
wait,
it sound
hold
like
on.
you're saying it like it's a bad
Also-
thing? Like, yes,
Wait, hold on.
women
I'm
when
just
we're
saying the
younger,
truth.
when
I'm just saying the
when
truth.
I wouldn't even
Richez,
say
don't
it's
men do the
women.
same thing,
I
though?
think it's just people in general. We think we want something when we're younger. We grow up, we see the world, and we're like, oh, actually, what I wanted when I was 16 doesn't actually make sense now when I'm a 26-year-old person in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
but
Don't
Princess,
forget,
I'll
this
be so
conversation the other day.
I'll be so
Yeah.
I would be concerned for anyone in their mid to late 30s that are still going for the same type they was going for 10 years ago.
But the thing is, Princess,
I let the new.
That just means you have not progressed.
Let
Beth
Beth
speak.
speak.
Yeah, let Beth
The two new guests speak. Let the two
Hi
new guests speak.
everyone. But the thing is, Princess, there's people who have just liked upstanding men from young, anyways. Regardless.
That's
Like,
it.
it doesn't matter though. They've always just had a type. They've stuck to that. They've had standards, and those standards have been maintained throughout. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, totally. I don't think that's what we're discussing here. We're discussing the women that go for the trapper guys when they're younger and like why they change when they're older. I think it's a realization thing. I think environment definitely plays a part into it.